So we're going to move to the clarifying questions portion. If you in the audience have a question to get more information about a question that we've already answered, we're trying to stick to the same subjects. Did I skip you?
No, I just have the money, so.
You look so serious on me. I'm like, I'm so sorry. So if you have a clarifying question, raise your hand and you'll be handed the microphone. Like I said, we're trying not to broach entirely new subjects just because of time constraints. But if you want to get more information about something a candidate said, we'll give you the microphone and let us know who you address the question to. And they will also have just 1 minute to answer. Sorry. Anybody?
First.
Okay. Thank you.
What is the stand of anyone running for the school board here about allowing students that want to have the, I'm not sure what it's called, where they meet together before school begins or after, and they stand at the flag. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Destin, could you answer that?
Me? I'm not running for school board. I'm happy to answer the question.
I want to know who knows about that.
Sure.
Somebody rephrase the question. Are you
I
talking
can't
about
hear you.
Are you referring to Fellowship of Christian Athletes, or are you talking about the Pledge of Allegiance?
No, it would be the,
Like extracurricular?
yes. Is that allowed in Delaware City Schools?
Yes.
Does anyone want to
Yeah.
answer that directly? Okay. Okay.
It has.
Okay. All right. Does anyone else have a question? In the back? Way in the back in the purple.
For the school board, or for anyone who's running for school board, for the kids who have disabilities, how do you wish to continue for funding for new equipment and abilities for those children who have disabilities or are still figuring out their styles? Like for visual impairments, I know there's Zoom text and then there's like the CCTV, but I know different people who have varying degrees of that would need different equipment. So one student might like the Zoom text function and one student might like the CCTV, which is a portable, I guess, visual instrument that you would have to cart from room to room depending on if you get the larger version, or which is an older style, or the smaller version, which is the newest rendition of that technology.
Is this for any specific candidate or anyone?
So I personally have quite a bit of experience with special education, as he gave me his permission. I have a son on the autism spectrum. And for anyone who wants to know why I'm running because getting him the appropriate education for his unique needs has been a full-time job for me. It has been devastating at times. He and his sister share it, but my absolute greatest accomplishment. I had a son who told me that a doctor that told me my son would never go to this school, that my son would never stand on the stage and have a leading role in the drama production of Willy Wonka next month, that my son would never never have friends and he'd never have a girlfriend, and he's proven that wrong. So a lot of what you're asking for, getting funding, and I think everyone's going to agree with this, getting funding, you get it from two places. You get it from local and you get it from state. And getting those two things is like squeezing juice out of a rock. A lot of times the funding will be allocated towards the IEP students and 504 students. And there's a lot of things that are required of the state. You know, there's law that has to be followed. Me personally, in why I'm running and trying to have a voice for the special needs community, but it's also with the teachers and lack of resources, which a lot of times have things to do with the funding again. One thing I would love to see is giving more education to our educators. They do a phenomenal job. The ISs and the support staff that I have worked with over the years have been wonderful. However, there's always more educating to do, right? So looking at special needs, looking at intervention in a little bit different way, like you're talking about some equipment and some new technologies, we have those things. How do you write a meaningful IEP in this time? I sit in really long meetings and make sure that my son's IEP is specific for him. A lot of times we do professional development within the school. We don't have people outside coming in who are trained professionals coming in and really giving some new cutting edge ideas and things like that. If we are able ever, we're going to be getting a little bit more funding with the property tax increase. Where can we make that? Because our special needs, we have some really great people that are working in that. However, we are really behind on special needs, especially when you compare our school to other districts in Central Ohio.
Thank you. Does anyone else want to?
So I love this question because sorry, it's so loud. I truly believe that when I say I want education for all, I want education for all, and that means everybody of every different ability, because diversity is in the school system, and that includes ability. I'm neurodiverse. I know what it's like to struggle in school. I'm gonna totally show my age right now. When I was in high school 30 plus years ago, they did not have this stuff or know the things that they have today, and that's awesome. My wife works at Ohio Wesleyan. She's the director of disability services, and getting to hear the awesome things that they are doing for students at the college level is amazing. And there are great resources out there. And so I'm willing to fight for the funding for that so that kids of every ability do get the chance to get the education that they do deserve.
Thank you. Does anyone else want to weigh in on that?
I think they crushed it.
Does anyone have a question? Any other questions in the audience?
Hi, Mr. Ryder. I live in the first ward, so I wouldn't be voting for you, but one of the things that does concern me is that you seem like you are overqualified. And when you talked about infrastructure, you had a very specific suggestion. So have you talked to people in the engineering department in the city about their idea and how the roles of the city council people relate to what the offices in the city do?
Thank you. I think it's a compliment. I was given the same compliment when I went to be a professor, and I was interviewing at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, and I thought the interview went great. And I wanted to work there, and they told me that same thing. The reason was because they didn't think I would stay. I have no other aspirations, so just to kind of address the connection, I only want to do city council. I love Delaware. I've actually seen a lot of the country. Some of the other people, hounding that they've been here all their lives, and I think that's tremendous. I've actually seen much of the country, and I want to be here. Yes, I have been talking to city engineers, the Department of Public Works. These are suggestions I have talked with them about. I don't make decisions. The city council collectively does. Best case, I'm one of 7 voices, and I'll just make sure that I'm voicing my thoughts of the 4th Ward, to make sure that the best interests of the 4th Ward, as it fits to the best interests of the city. I don't think I'm overqualified. I would offer, I think I'm perfectly qualified.
Thank you very much.
Not in arrogance, just in terms of my background and desires.
Thank you very much. So that is the end of our event today. We unfortunately don't have time for every candidate to give closing remarks. However, they will be, I assume most of them will stick around to answer your questions. I just want to thank everyone for attending. I think this was really great. Thank you to all the candidates. It was great to learn more about your platforms and what you believe in, and I hope that we all learned something today. And everyone have a safe trip home. Thank you.
Thank you.